Melachim Aleph, perek Chaf Aleph. Vayhi achar hadvarim ha'ela. Always words like this are connecting you to something in the previous perek. So look back to perek Chaf and see what are we connecting here. Kerem hayad lenavot ha'Yisraeli. Navot had a kerem in the city Asher b'Yisrael. Again, this was a summer home or a winter residence of the people of nobility of Malchut Israel. Etzel Heichal Achav. Navot's kerem is near a heichal that Achav has, Melech Shomron. Vayidaber Achav el Navot lemor. Achav says to Navot, Tnali et karmecha, I want your vineyard, vihili legan yarok, it will be for me a vegetable garden, kihu karov etzel beiti, it is near my home, ve'etnelecha tachtov kerem tov mimeno, and in its place I'll give you a better vineyard, im tov be'einecha, if that suits you, fantastic, etnelecha kesef mechir, otherwise I can give you money in its place. So the big question we have here is, why didn't Achav just exercise the right of eminent domain and expropriate the vineyard as he sees fit? Why did he actually come to Navot and try to strike a deal with him? That already raises some red flags. Vayomer Navot el Achav, and Navot responds, Chalila li mehashem mititi et nachalat avotai lach. God forbid I should give you the inheritance of my forefathers. So again, the question here we're going to discuss, why is it, how he divides his answer? Is it really a forefather's inheritance? Why is it something that's God forbid? Doesn't Achav have the right of eminent domain? All to be discussed at a later date. Vayavo Achav el beito sar v'zaif. Achav comes home hearing the rejection of Navot, and he is sar v'zaif. He seems to be feeling very rejected and angry. Al hadavar asher diber elav Navot ha'Yisraeli. He couldn't handle the way Navot spoke with him. Vayomer lo eten lecha et nachalat avotai. The fact that he was rejected. Vayishkava mitato, and like a petulant child, he lies in bed. Vayasev et panav v'lo achal lechem. Vatavo elav Izevel ishto, but Izevel comes home and sees Achav in this manner. V'tadaber elav, and she questions him on his behavior. Ma zeruchacha Sarah ve'eincha ochel lechem? Why aren't you eating? Vayidaber eleha, and he responds, and again, his response is very telling of what his focus is. Ki adaber el Navot ha'Yisraeli, when I spoke to Navot, va'omar lo, and I told him, Tnali et karmecha ba'kesev, give me, telling her the proposition that he had given to Navot. O im chafetz ata, or if you prefer, et nelecha kerem tachtav, whether he gave him money in its place or another vineyard. Vayomer, and he responded to me, lo eten lecha et karmi. Recognize why he is so upset and angry. Did he actually retell over the words of Navot properly? Did he change his words? How does Izevel respond? Vatomer elav Izevel ishto, ata atet asem lucha al Yisrael. Very ambiguous statement. Now you will go and make a kingdom over Israel. So we will discuss together the difference between how the Mitzudot deal with Izevel's response and how Abarbanel refers to her response. But for some reason, it seems clear that Izevel doesn't believe that here Achav is acting like a proper king. And instead she says to him, Kum echol lechem, get up, eat, v'itab libecha, again a catchphrase. Vayitab lev hamelach is something that we see throughout Sifrei Ketuvim and even parts of Nevi'im. Ani eten lecha et kerem Navot ha'Yisraeli. I am going to deliver you this kerem. And with that, she kind of takes matters into her own hands, seemingly unbeknownst to Achav what it is that she then goes on to do. Vatichtov svarim b'shem Achav, vatachtom b'chotamo. Clearly, she has a signet ring and she's writing some documents in his name. Vatishlach svarim el haskenim v'lachorim asher b'iro. And throughout the city of Israel, she sends out these papers. Hayoshvim et Navot. Vatichtov basfarim le'mor, and she tells them, Kir'u tzom v'hoshivu et Navot b'rosham. Gather an assembly and bring Navot forward. V'hoshivu shnayim anashim b'nei Blial. Appoint 2 people as edim negdo, to be his antagonists, essentially. V'yehidu le'mor, they will testify, saying, Beirach Elokim v'melach. This is a concept of Lashon Sagi Nahor. Clearly he didn't bless Hashem, but here it's playing on the wording. They're trying to accuse him of cursing God. V'hotziuhu v'sikluhu v'yamot. Remove him from the people and stone him to death. The people of his city did. They did exactly what Izevel told him to do, just like was written in the books. What did they do specifically? Karu tzom v'hoshivu anavo berosh ha'am. Vayavo shnei ha'anashim b'nei Blial, the two people b'nei Blial come forward. Vayeshvu negdo, they sit near him. V'yeidu anshe ha'Blial et navot neged ha'am lemor, they testify against him in front of the people, saying, Berach navot Elokim v'melach, that he cursed God and the king. Vayotziuhu michutz la'ir, they remove him from the city. Vayiskilu ba'avanim vayamot, and they stone him to death. Vayishlechu el Izevel lemor, and then they send a message back to Lemor, to Izevel, saying, the deed is done. Sukal navot vayamot. Vayhi kishma Izevel ki sukal navot vayamot. When she heard that the deed was done, vatomer Izevel el achav, she turns to her husband and she says, Kum reish et kerem navot ha'Yisraeli. That word reish is very, very ambiguous. It comes from the shoresh either of the word rash, like a poor person, or yerusha, of an inheritance. And she tells him to inherit or to impoverish the vineyard of Navot. Asher me'ein latet lecha bekesef, since he refused to give it to you by money. Ki ein Navot chai ki meit. He is not alive, he's dead. Again, what is the purpose of this redundancy? If he's not alive, isn't he also dead? Vayhi kishma Achav ki meit Navot, and as soon as Achav heard that Navot is no longer alive, vayakam Achav laredet el kerem Navot, he goes down to the vineyard. Again, the word laredet and lareshet is a play on words. El kerem Navot ha'Yisraeli lirishto. He actually goes to get the field. So, is he entitled to the field? Did Izevel's plan work? Did he know that Navot was dead, or how he was killed? Clearly, the question is whether or not this incident is Achav's fault or Izevel's fault. Does he have eminent domain? Can he take the land after Navot dies? Is he responsible for killing him? Clearly, he knows that Navot is dead, but does he know that whether it's natural cause? So this is all to be investigated. And upon whom does this sin actually rest?